You and I know you're excited about our guest today.
I am super excited. We are going to be interviewing somebody who I haven't seen in years. Went to college with him, Neil.
Wow,
Isn't
this is
that cool?
awesome. Yeah.
Amazing. So we have Chris Regina today, and he is the Chief Content Officer at TCL North America, leading content and strategy and development for TCL TV. And previously, he worked at Netflix, where he produced hits like Resident Evil and Black Summer. He has nearly 20 years of experience at NBC Universal, and he oversaw projects like Sharknado and Van Helsing. He holds a bachelor's degree in communications, and we went to college together. I'm not going to tell you the year that we graduated because that would be not cool, Chris. But welcome to the Stay on Course podcast.
Thanks. I'm thrilled to be here.
It's super exciting. I'm real happy that you're here. And we were reminiscing the other day about some of the people we both went to college with that also did amazing in their career. So we'll get into that. Neil, maybe we could have some of those other people on as well. But
All right.
Chris, tell us a little bit about your favorite food.
My favorite food. I am a pretty good cook. I grew up in the kitchen. My grandma was a short order cook, and she cooked every meal. So I learned to cook at age 5. I had a chef's knife in my hand and was chopping and peeling garlic and parsley. And so I would say just home cooking for me. I could cook a lot of Italian food. I'm a big fan of sushi, and I'm a pescatarian, so I cook a lot of fish. So I'd say definitely in that wheelhouse.
A lot of fish. Okay, we love that. And what, like, you live in LA now, right?
I do.
So is there like a favorite restaurant you have and a favorite meal there?
I'm addicted to sugarfish, so I would say as a sushi place here, I
Oh,
don't think you can get any better. As much as the high-end sushi places in LA, are to rave about, sugarfish consistently delivers so above in both value and quality. I could pretty much be a sponsor for that for that chain. Um, and I love Angelini's, which is my favorite restaurant here in LA.
all right. We got to write those down, Neil, in case we go over to LA
Okay.
for the meeting. Okay. So today we're talking about AIGC, and that is AI generated content. I'm excited to have this conversation because Neil and I have been chatting about AI and the power of AI for a little bit. And we're very curious to understand what this is and how it relates to what you're doing in your industry. So let's just get right into it. Tell us some of the components that are important and tell us what it is also.
Yeah, I'll back up and give you a little bit of history of what TCL is and how we're working with AI and what the sort of larger strategy is. So we are an OEM, which is an original equipment sort of manufacturer, like an LG or a Vizio or Samsung. We make television sets. We sell 39 million sets a year globally, which puts us right at the top of the market. We sell about 6 to 8 million sets in the US alone. We do not have our own operating system, so we are an app that you can get to through a TV button or through the apps on your television set that you can click on. That's the one sort of disadvantage that we have to our competitors, although it's really great for our audiences because our OSs and our TVs are powered by either Roku or Google or Amazon Fire, and so those are very consumer friendly and popular operating systems that people gravitate toward to why they buy the TV. They like the Roku environment. They go into and get into their apps for easily. Once you're in our app, we have over 350 fast channels, which is free ad supporting streaming television. So it's like if you're not familiar with it, basically it looks like an EPG guide, which lists out all the channels that you can go through. A lot of them are sort of repurposed cable channels of old. So there's 22 channels we have from A&E, everything from, the Ice Road Truckers to, content that you would find on the A&E brands. We have channels from Paramount, channels from Lionsgate, Miramax, et cetera. The NFL channel or the official TV that's of the NFL. So it's local news, weather, all the things you can get from a cable subscription that comes for free in your TV. If you look at across the industry, my history, I started out in broadcast in local in Philadelphia, working for a local station there before I jumped to cable at Sci-Fi in New York and then Netflix. But every sort of evolution of the industry, original content is key to breaking out and making a difference in building your brand. And so it's no surprise that in the local broadcast, it's like if we didn't have original content, original syndicated content, you couldn't really make a difference. And at Sci-Fi, it was the same thing. And that's how we got into original movies. And I made over 350 original movies when I was there. And we did co-productions of series, everything from Winona Earp to Van Helsing to Z Nation, a variety of different shows that I worked on. And then at Netflix was focused on originals in the streaming space. Here we are in Fast, and I'm making a pitch here internally at our company. It's like we have to get into original programming. That's what gets us to AIGC. So AI is a inexpensive way to start dipping our toe into original television production. And the rapid growth of AI has really allowed us to start experimenting and making shorts. And so we are doing quite a few short films. We launched an incubator program, sort of an accelerator program for talent in Hollywood called Film Machine, in which we selected 5 individuals who applied, actors, writers, directors from Hollywood. And we are making their short films and bringing them to life powered by AI.
Wow. Neil, isn't this exciting? So
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to hear.
I want to know the process. So I know we're supposed to talk about these components. So like once you get them, how does the AI piece, like what's the process?
Yeah, so it's interesting. AI is a very scary word in Hollywood. And if you've been reading the trades, everyone's very fearful of it replacing people, what its threat is to potentially to equality or its threat to sort of capsizing the industry as it is right now. And I think anytime there's a piece of new technology that comes in and it scares and changes the way people do things, people freak out, right? They don't understand it. It remains to be seen what it is. But the truth is, I guess the best thing about AI is AI doesn't really care what Hollywood thinks. AI doesn't really care what Hollywood does. But we are using it, I think, in a very interesting way that we aren't looking to replace people's jobs. In fact, it is much more akin to animation in terms of the way we are working, meaning we are hiring actors, and those actors are either doing voice work underneath fully animated images that are powered by AI, or we are hiring actors and they are actually acting in front of green screen, and we are putting them into an AI environment. So it's, we're capturing their performance, whether it's mocap and style transfer, or whether it is truly just capturing their performance as a live action person. We are using directors to direct. We are using writers to write. We're not having AI write anything. So it is very much the same sort of assembly line, collaborative business that we've seen in traditional Hollywood before, but it just has technology that's powering it when it comes to the capturing and incorporating visuals. So it's an amalgamation of sort of VFX and new image creation through AI.
Wow. Well, is there how we have ChatGPT? Is there a system that you're using to do that?
No, so what's interesting with AI is that there are so many engines and so many tools in the world right now and there's new ones that come out every day and new advancements that come out every day that are changing the scope of the way we work in our workflows. So we are agnostic to sort of the tools. We will use anything and everything that's out there to jump in to solve problems. And all of these AI tools are really problem solvers that enhance the quality of storytelling. So you ask about the 3 essential components to potential success in AI. The number 1 is storytelling. It's no different than traditional Hollywood. If you don't have a great story, this idea of the democratization of creativity through access to AI, that hey, you could be at home or in your basement and just working on your computer and create the next great film. You could. But, everyone made that case about, the iPhone and said, well, everybody has an iPhone now, so now you can shoot a high quality film. How many professional films that have broken out through pop culture have we seen that were shot on an iPhone? There's been some, iPhone ads that maybe have been done, but they've been done through probably an agency at a very high end. We have not seen that. So it still comes to the quality of storytelling. If you don't have a great writer, if you don't have a great producer and director all behind all this, I don't think you're going to have some secret recipe that AI is going to solve for you to create those stories. So that's thing 1. I would say thing 2 for us would be authenticity, is that you're still looking for that point of view from a writer or from an and from the talent involved that is bringing their passion and their creativity in all aspects of the production. So it is still the same. I would say the advantage that AI has is there's a lot of simultaneous work that is done that is not done in traditional Hollywood, where you would normally have the script is written, you lock your script, you create a budget, you go to production, you shoot everything, and then you come back and all the post-production happens. The interesting with AI creation is sort of the post-production and the actual production are happening at the same time. So you have image creation and animation of the images at the same time that you are having VFX work and collaborate and solve problems to accomplish certain shots that are actually in the production, all sort of happening together and people working together to do that.
Wow.
It's been a very liberating and eye-opening experience for some of the writers and directors we brought in from Film Machine. We have people like Paul Johansson, who's an Emmy Award-winning writer-director. I worked with him on Van Helsing. Kalita Smith, who you may know from the Bernie Mac show. George Huang, who did Swimming with Sharks, writer-director. So they're coming in, and a lot of them are just, their eyes are kind of popping at the quality of the visuals that are out, which I think no one has really been seeing some of the stuff we've been doing of late, because it's all just in development and production right now. We released a short called Message in a Bot a couple of months ago, and it was really fun. You can look at it, you can find it on YouTube, you can take a look at it. But even that is so dated. Within a couple of weeks, let alone a month, everything becomes really dated, and because the advancements are 10x of what you've seen a month ago. We joke internally where we go like, oh, that short we made, it looks so August 2024. Because it's just it does. Like the difference between August 2024 and today is radical. It's not
Wow.
It's not the gradual evolution of any other technology that you normally would see in Hollywood.
Okay.
I mean, I have just been educated on the future of Hollywood here, Chris.
And that's what they're not happy about. But as you're saying, that it's going to be creators and everyone put together, that no one's going to lose their jobs. It's going to enhance the ability of creating content and putting things together, and everyone has to continue to step their game up. That's it. Bottom line.
And so the third one is, your third ingredient is adaptability. Like you've teed it up for me, which is, we've seen like a lot of visual effects and post-production people and animators who were very hesitant to come on board with us back in January when we started putting out job listings that we needed help. And by May, June, after traditional Hollywood, quite honestly, because of the strike, had put a lot of people out of work. It wasn't AI, because AI wasn't even there yet. It wasn't even happening. But the sort of rollback of production that has happened across the industry, people realize like, okay, you know what? I think I need to learn what you guys are doing, and I'm really curious about it. I'm not as afraid as I was before, and let me come on board and work with you guys. And then we have a lot of talent that's coming off of major productions. I mean, they're coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy and Mandalorian and big time theatrical films that are now joining our AI team and working behind the scenes using traditional things like Nuke, and then new tools like Comfy UI, and as each tool kind of rolls onto the marketplace, are finding ways to incorporate them all in sort of a synergistic workflow to accomplish a task of getting to the visuals that we desire.
Wow.
Right. That such information, such a great show, Julie, of bringing something that we just didn't know about. I heard a little bit from my one client, Frank Fiore, about it, because he says I can start creating films. And they were starting to show the stuff online of what can be done. But you're telling us it's far further when you have the right creators involved. And it looks like you put the great team together to be able to do that for sure.
Yeah, I think we are probably about a year away from it really starting to stabilize and having the ability to do things. Like, there are still limitations today. There are things that don't look great. They're getting better, like on-screen dialogue and doing lip match and all of that with an AI character. It can sometimes feel off, can feel somewhat artificial. There's that uncanny valley that we are crossing. We're in the middle. We are probably more than halfway over that uncanny valley bridge to getting to photorealistic and truly immersive and emotional content. Ultimately, when you're watching content, It's about, do you get an emotional response from it? Are you leaning forward? Are you watching it and going, I know this is AI and that's the distraction? Or are you watching it and going, this is just content and I enjoy what I'm watching, and you don't care how it's made? At the end of the day, the consumer doesn't care how it's made. They want to be entertained, and they want to be moved. They want to laugh,
Absolutely.
they want to cry, or they want to have that emotional journey with that character, which goes back to storytelling and writing, which at this point, I'm not looking for AI's point of view on writing. I still want the human existence defined by humans.
I cannot believe we're running out of time. Where's the best place people can find information on you, Chris? Where can they go?
If you want to see, you can Google me. I mean, there's been a lot of articles I've talked about on AI. The Media Play did a great piece on me. Jordan Pinto did a great piece on me from C21. You can always go to my Instagram. I am Chris Regina. You can see my passions for hiking and food. But
That's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris. And one quick thing, Chris, we would love to have you back on, because right now it's September. I want to know what's happening in like June with this and how
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a
changed.
plug. By November 19th, we're going to have our event at the TCL Chinese Theater, which will debut all of these AI shorts that we've been working on for Film Machine. So yeah, sometime after that, we'll have a lot to talk about. And more
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Come
Thanks
back,
again,
Chris.
Chris.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
that's
much.
a special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show on the Stay On Course